Hey, it's Abby, and today I wanted to talk about one of my most favorite things, goal setting. I love goals because I think that they work, and they are so important for organization because they help you be more productive and get more things done. So today I'm going to talk about the system I use to set big goals and accomplish them. Now, I use a specific planner to help me keep track of all my goals. And if you want to get the same planner that I'm showing in this video, you can do that at abbyorganizes.com/planner. All right, so I like to think of my goal setting strategy as kind of an inverted triangle. I like to start really big and broad and then get narrower and narrower and narrower until I am down to kind of little baby steps. So let me talk about what I mean. The first thing I do when I kind of sit down to set some goals is I think about the big picture. I think about, like where do I want to be 5 years from now? And I have a little page in my planner that I use. It's just a blank page and it allows me to kind of dream big. I make lists, I make little doodles, and I really try to come up with, in an ideal world, realistically, where do I want to be in 5 years? And I kind of paint a picture of that on this page. So that is the really broad kind of top of that inverted triangle. Then I narrow it a little bit. After I've kind of done my dreaming and thinking about where I want to be in 5 years, I think about just this year. So I look at that list, that 5-year plan, and I say, okay, what can I do this year to help those dreams come true, 5 years down the road? So I use these goal setting pages in my planner to write down kind of the top, only like 3 or 4 things, because I think it's really hard to focus on any more than that. But 3 or 4 things that I want to work on this year that will get me moving toward that long-term plan. So let's say, one of my goals is financial. If I say this year I want to save $1,200 extra, that's manageable. That goes down on my list. And I also can set some action steps for how I'm going to do that, because I can set a goal, but if I don't have a plan of how I'm going to get there, it's never going to come to fruition. So I could say, this is how I'm going to spend less money or make more money or cut back so that I can reach that goal this year. So that's kind of the beginning of each year. I start broad, then I get a little bit narrower, and then at the beginning of each month, I narrow it down again. So again, I have a page in my planner that helps me list out my focus areas for the month, and they're always based on those yearly goals. So if I want to save $1,200 this year, for example, I know that this month I need to save $100. And I'm going to write specifically on this goal page what I'm going to do this month to get to that smaller goal of saving $100 this month. So maybe I'll say we're not going to eat out this month, and I'm going to find some items in my house to sell on Craigslist or Facebook yard sale groups or something like that. So between those 2 things, I'm going to save that extra $100. So I plan that all out here. So I've started big and I've gotten narrower for the year and I've gotten narrower for the month. And then I get even narrower for each week. So I also have these weekly spreads in my planner where I can whittle it down even more. So in my monthly goals, I said that I was going to give up eating out. So in order to do that, I need to make a meal plan and I need to go grocery shopping so we have enough food at our house so we're not tempted to eat out. So on my weekly plan, I will write in, on Monday, I'm going to do my meal planning and grocery shopping. And then maybe on Thursday, I schedule in that I'm going to gather up some things from around my house and start getting ready to sell them, because those were both things that I wanted to make progress on my monthly plan. So if breaking it down by week wasn't small enough, I go one step further, and each day I use a process called time blocking. And in my planner that I use, it's all mapped out for me. I have my days broken down by hour. So I take my to-do list each day and I put each of the items from the to-do list, I assign it to an hour on my planner. And this might seem like it would be stressful to have your entire day planned out hour by hour. But for me, it's actually a little bit freeing, because if I'm in the middle of a project in the morning and I remember, I have to respond to that email. Instead of running off and responding to the email and leaving my project and not getting anything done, I know that later in the day, I have time scheduled to work on email, so I can leave that for then, focus on my project, get that done, and then move on. So for me, time blocking has been really freeing, and it's helped me to accomplish more. So then going back to our example, I will put maybe on Monday from 9 to 9:30, I'm going to make my meal plan and my grocery list. And then from that 9:30 maybe to 11:30 time period, I'll do my grocery shopping so that I'm all prepared for the week. I have all my meals planned so we aren't tempted to eat out, and we're saving money. So that's how I break it all down to even by the hour. Now, what I love about this system is that, sometimes our big goals can seem intimidating. It can feel intimidating to put an amount of money that you want to save, or an amount of weight that you want to lose, or, the number of books that you want to read, or whatever. That can feel intimidating to make that big goal. When you use the system and break it down into smaller and smaller and smaller parts until all you have to do during the day is one tiny baby step, like making a grocery list, suddenly it becomes more manageable. And when you start adding those baby steps on top of each other day after day after day, you'll get to the end of the year and you'll have accomplished some of those big goals that you set out to accomplish, and they won't be nearly as intimidating. So that's the system I use to set and accomplish my big goals. Again, if you want to get the planner that I use to kind of write everything down and keep track of things from my big goals down to my baby steps, you can head to abbyorganizes.com/planner. I can't wait to see you crush all of your goals in the coming year.